So the Indiana Fever have just won their first game, and we have seen a couple of interviews from their players. We've seen a few interviews from Caitlin Clark, and I'm not going to lie, no matter what Twitter wants to say, Caitlin Clark is dealing with everything as well as can be expected. Like, she basically is being interviewed and saying that she stays off social media. When she's being asked questions about all this stuff, she says she has no idea what's going on, and she literally just wants to talk about basketball. Like, she's being asked all these questions about non-basketball stuff, and she's like, well, last night we're starting to get basically, she's just answering with basketball questions. She's talking about how fun it was to play last night, how fun it was to get a win. And that's the perfect way to go about it. Like, everyone on social media demanding she does X, Y, and Z, like, when she's on social media. Like, demanding she does everything, defend everything, do all this stuff, and I literally, like, it's just mental. It is just absolutely mental. Like, I've genuinely seen on Twitter, people suggesting that she should have refused the Nike deal because A'ja Wilson hadn't already got her signature shoe. Even though A'ja Wilson had already signed a deal with Nike and she was already in the process of getting a signature shoe. Either way, just idiots online. And obviously, Aliyah Boston having to go off social media. I'd probably advise any sports player to do it. Like, if you're able to not let it affect your game, fair enough. But I think it probably affects more people's game than it doesn't. Which is why you see, especially, like, you see it with football players. And it's probably the case with some NBA players. You can tell the ones who it clearly isn't. But like football players, they don't even run their own social media. They have people run their social media for them. They, like, even on things like TikTok and stuff, like, they'll record all the stuff. But they have people that are uploading it, people looking at the comments. Like, it's not them that are dealing with it. And basically the big part about that is they don't have to deal with, like, unnecessary nonsense. Like, it's nonsense. It is absolutely nonsense, the stuff on social media. And at the end of the day, there's going to be discourse and drama and everything about the sport. And if you're playing the sport, it's best to just stay away from it. Regardless of what Twitter thinks, like, no matter what you say or what you do, you're going to piss off Twitter. That is the one thing I've learned from any sport. Like, if you're cocky, they will dislike you for it. If you're quiet, they'll dislike you for it. If you're outspoken in any way, they'll dislike you for it. If you don't say anything, they'll dislike you for it. Like, no matter what you do on social media is never good enough for a group of people. So what Caitlin Clark is doing is absolutely perfect. Staying off social media, being a good teammate, because you could see the first person that ran up to Aliyah Boston after she missed the shot was Caitlin Clark. After she missed the layup, was Caitlin Clark telling her it was all going to be okay. The first person after the first half where Caitlin Clark was terrible in her first game was Aliyah Boston. Like, you can tell that, like, one, you can tell that they're a team that are gelling together. You can tell they're a team that are getting better. And it's a situation where it's like, not everything needs to be on social media. And I think Caitlin Clark's handling everything perfectly. Like, the only people that are putting the pressure on Caitlin Clark to be the savior of everything is the media at the end of the day. And if you shut off the media, and you can say, oh, the fans are all there to see her. The fans were there to see her in Iowa. She's fine playing in front of a crowd. She likes playing in front of a crowd. The paying fans that want to watch her play and are going to the games just want to see her show out. They don't really care about all the crap going on in the background. But Twitter's different. Social media is very, very different. And all people are saying about how you deal with the pressure, how you deal with this and that, the easiest way to do it is shut off. Like what LeBron used to do in the playoffs. Remember 0 Dark 30? LeBron wouldn't look at social media or TV or read newspapers during the playoffs when they were winning for a lot of the years he was winning. I think it's the smartest way to go about it. Because when you're not reading the stuff about you, the only thing you can focus on is basketball. And that's exactly what Caitlin Clark is trying to do. But yet, she's doing the best thing possible, but there are still people on Twitter demanding more from her. Demanding X, Y, and Z. But in reality, what good is that? What use is that? Like, she's a basketball player. She wants to focus on playing basketball. Like, even stuff on Twitter, like when she showed up late to that press conference, she was signing autographs for kids. She was late to a press conference because she was getting some treatment done on her ankle, and then when she left the treatment, was signing autographs for kids that came to see her. and she was late for a press conference. And then Twitter ran with the whole, oh, she's this horrible teammate, she's this, that, she's this, that. Like, no, like, and that's the funniest part of this new group of players, of this new group of, like, WNBA players, is unless you've tried to pick a reason to dislike these people, they're all really nice people. They're all likable. They're all, like, they all just want to hoop, and they like each other. They all seem to be good teammates. There's no Liz Cambage in this group. And, like, even hearing people trying to compare Angel Reese to Liz Cambage. Liz Cambage is horrible. Have you not seen what she's doing in China? She's just elbowing people. She got ejected from the Chinese League final because she couldn't stop elbowing people. She racially abused the Nigerian team and then got kicked off the Australia team. Like, the amount of crap that she said about the WNBA, like, and people are trying to compare Angel Reese, who is the hardest worker, seems to be the best teammate ever, seems to be one of the nicest people ever. She's just says what's on her mind, which is fine. Which is completely fine. And she'll say it publicly. At the end of the day, it's fine. And Angel Reese, without question, like, you can see how she plays. She plays with her, she leaves everything on the line on the court. And that's just the way she seems to be in life. Like, she wears her heart on her sleeve, which is a great thing. And yeah, she's going to say things that a couple of people mightn't like, or even word things in a weird way. She clearly attacked Charles Barkley and not Caitlin Clark, but it might piss people off. But at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares if you're saying something that might piss people off? At the end of the day, when it comes to these players, the actions are all that really matter. And if you look at Angel Reese, she's a hell of a player, works her ass off, unbelievable teammate, is doing everything to build up the sport, build up her team, build up everybody else around her. You look at Caitlin Clark, who, at the end of the day, the most important thing for the growth of the WNBA when it comes to Caitlin Clark is that she is balling, so she's focusing on the basketball side of it. Everything, like, these players are doing perfectly. Caitlin Clark is dealing with pressure better than almost anyone could. You're seeing all these rookies. You're seeing all these rookies do exactly what is needed to do to grow this sport. Like, it's actually scary how, no matter what, like, regardless of Twitter are going to attack everybody. And then, obviously, Charles Barkley seeing Twitter going at it, seeing Becky Hammon basically just saying they want to compete, which is 100% true. Like, I can get the frustration of these players, but if you look at these rookies, they're all doing everything perfectly. They're all doing everything perfectly for the growth of this game. Even, like, Cameron Brink, who's as famous for, like, I'm not going to beat her, but she's as famous for the way she looks as she is for how she plays basketball, even though she's a hell of a basketball player. She was brilliant last night. Rakia Jackson was unbelievable last night as well. The two rookies were great. But, like, you can see how much focus is put on Cameron Brink's pre-game outfit, like, for games. And that's going to be a bit of a draw. As well as the fact that every single one of them are performing on the floor. Every single one of them are doing everything perfectly when it comes to the draft class. When it comes to even the other players, it's like, a lot of people are like, why is nobody talking about Collier? It's like, because Collier hasn't had that huge game against a team that people are watching. But yeah, when Collier goes for 30 against the Sky, the Sparks, or the Fever, people are going to start talking about that more. Same with Kalia Copper. She hasn't had the game against one of those teams. There's a reason why people are hyping the hell out of Jewel Lloyd because of what she did against the Fever. And people are hyping the hell out of Breanna Stewart. People are probably going to be hyping the hell out of Aja Wilson or Kelsey Plum, whichever one of those two goes off tonight. But league's in a great place, and I have to give credit to all these rookies because there's so much pressure being put on all of them to grow this league, and the way they're dealing with it is exceptionally well. They're dealing with it exceptionally well. And yeah, and what the most important part is that they're doing the right thing and not listening to what Twitter thinks is the right thing for them to do. So anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.